A year from now, you're gonna look back, think to yourself, whoa, I'm stuck. And you don't realize it, but that's the cause of inaction. It's making me face that version of me, and I don't like this, and I don't wanna be this version of me. I observed a very curious phenomenon, and that is, hello, my dear entrepreneur friends. So welcome back to another video. Or if you happen to listen to this one on the Omni-channel podcast, welcome back to the podcast. This month on this channel, we talk about expression. In this video, we're gonna talk about words. Why words? And the reason we are talking about words is simply because here's something I observed helping people grow their businesses online. I observed a very curious phenomenon, and that is the use of words. Now, let me give you some context. The more I was watching people, and they have their different offers, and I'm around more coaches and consultants, service providers. That's kind of the people that I actively help grow. But the more I was watching them and helping them sell and helping them market their online events or in-person events, the more I got a glimpse behind the scenes of how people sell, but not just how they sell, how they communicate ideas. And there are the types of entrepreneurs, and maybe you're guilty of this, and there was a time when I was guilty of this, who love expressions, like certain words or certain phrases of words, and they look out for these words and they go, I'm gonna snatch this and I'm gonna use this in my master classes. A very classic example I'm gonna give you is, especially in sales, if you are like selling, there's this whole concept of you're gonna stay the same, or if you're not staying the same, you are, like this whole concept of cost of inaction, like not acting on something that you want, you're gonna stay the same, right? We're gonna grab that. And so the more I notice people, and it's across the board, the more they have reoccurring words like that they love, because when they heard this was, wow, this is so good. I'm gonna try to use this, right? But the thing is, using a line of words or using words just because you think they sound cool, it doesn't actually mean that when you say them, it would also work with the people. Because the more I understood this, the more I realized it's not so much the words that work. It's the understanding of how they came to be in existence, like why they were there in the first place. And the more people take language from each other and run with it because they think this is such a cool thing. The intent isn't because they're lazy, it's because, well, that's capturing it perfectly. I'm gonna use that line. But they don't actually know why they use that line, like why that was line created in the first place, and they just use it. It sounds cool, but it not always is resonating with the people. And actually, this was tested, you guys. I remember Frank Kern, if you don't know him, he's huge in marketing, direct response marketing. But Frank Kern was saying this phenomenon as well. He was saying, like, there were people, and he has this crazy upsell. He had a $4 offer, and I think it was like 6-step upsell in that $4 offer. And he said there were people who copied the entire funnel, word by word by word, every single page. And guess what? They weren't so successful. But you could argue it's the same words, but the difference is the person who wrote them knew why they were the way they were. And the person who took them, they were like, this sounds so cool. I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna run with it. And it's not so much stealing, it's not so much laziness. There's this genuine, like, this is such a cool way to capture this. Let me use it. I love it. We fall in love with lines like that sometimes. Because this is perfect. Let me use this. Let me do this. But if you don't understand the why behind it and the mechanism that created it, you will say it and people will, okay, it won't land. And let me illustrate how that looks like. And let's talk about the cost of inaction, like how that's used all the time. Now, If I say to you, you're gonna be the same that you were before, because there is a cost of inaction. So invest in the thing, because if you don't, there's a cost of inaction. You're gonna be stuck. In a year from now, you're gonna look back, think to yourself, whoa, I'm stuck. And you don't realize it, but that's the cost of inaction, by the way. It's not bad. And I given more context than most people. Now look at this. As I was growing my business, there were things I saw other people do that made me go, man, I wish I could do that one day. And the more I saw those people doing the things I wanted to do, the more I thought to myself, I actually don't like this version of me anymore. And at 3 a.m., I would wake up and think to myself, I wish I had the courage to move forward and step into blank, whatever that is that you want to achieve. And every time I get on a flight, I have a bit of a panic. And it isn't so much because I don't trust the skill of the pilot, but it's because I think to myself, if this flight went down, I would die with all my potential of the things I never got to do. What an absolute waste. So then I realized there is a cost of inaction. And that cost of inaction is eating at me. It's making me face that version of me, and I don't like this, and I don't want to be this version of me. I don't want to be scared when I get on a flight. I want to sit through a flight, and I want to be chill and cool as a cucumber. Because I want to think to myself, you know what? I did justice to this life. I did the thing I wanted to do. I didn't waste time. I didn't let fear stop me. I did all the things. So therefore, I'm going to just have a nice nap. And many times, that's the cost of inaction. It's not the monetary cost, even though that is also true. It's more so the person that I need to look into the mirror every day and me not liking that version. And to me, that's actually worse than the monetary thing. Because monetary thing, you can make money in different ways. But the identity piece and the fear I experience when I get on flights, I don't want to feel that anymore. Do you guys see the difference? It's essentially the same thing, but once I given it context and I explain to you how this came to be, it contextualized into reality. And not only that, you can feel the texture of that. And the story that I told you guys is true. That's how I used to feel. That's how I used to feel. So it's not a made up thing. That's how I used to feel. It's tapped into my own experience. But do you guys feel the difference? So when we are using words, it's important to understand and ask yourself this question: where is it coming from? What was the thought behind it? When I apply and filter through my own life, and can I do that? Where is it landing for me? And if you speak the words from that intention, from that embodiment, then they land. And that is also why, I'll tell you this if we have time, that is also why I don't worry about forgetting lines. Like, I don't worry about using the cost of inaction, because I understand the thing and the feeling behind it. I can actually say the story about 600 different times and it would still get the point across. I can replace the words, and not even use cost of inaction. I can just say the way I was living with myself, I couldn't do that anymore. Or this identity that I have, I don't like it. It's the same. Or it's chipping away my confidence every day. It's the same. So I'm not so much hanging and holding on to the words, because I understand how they came to be. Therefore, my usage of them is coming with that understanding. I hope this helped. I'm running a program called Expressed. We're going to touch more into the behind the scenes of the expressions. You're going to understand why things connect more, why things don't connect. Why is it that some messages land and some messages don't? There are more that we're going to unpack inside of the program. A link in the description. We start June 17, just a week from now. Depends on when this goes live. But would love to see you inside of the program if that's something you want to work on. I need to go. I'm running out of time. It was nice to chat. Bye, guys.